Welcome to Season 3 of the Take the Leap podcast. We want to thank you for being a part of this journey with us.
Whether you're just starting to tune in or you're a longtime listener of the podcast, you can expect to hear from entrepreneurs in all stages of their journey, how they got to where they are, and all the mistakes and victories they've had along the way.
We're excited to share new guests and have some returning folks from our first 2 seasons. Thank you for being here, and we hope you enjoy this episode.
Hello and welcome back to the Take the Leap podcast. Hi, Ashlan. How are you?
I am doing well, but I mean, I feel like I have to make a goal for myself not to talk about the weather every single time we get the microphone next. Yeah, it is hot here. It's the first week of like consistently over 100. So my office is roasty toasty. It is a brisk 78 degrees in here.
Oh my God.
And yeah, I know. It's just, and it stays cold outside there. So I feel like it's the constant battle. So
yeah.
Sorry, listeners, if you can hear the fan in the background, but it's got to stay on or else I'm just going to be melting. Yeah. Don't want to melt. But anyways.
I know. Can we go back in time for a moment to when we were recording the first wave of the course that we created?
Oh my gosh.
Videos. Yes. And it was up in my attic, which is now my bedroom, by the way. But we have AC up there now.
Good.
And it was where my office was, and we had recorded all these videos. I was probably
very, very pregnant.
7 months pregnant. Yeah, 8 months pregnant. And we were dying. We were just sweating
the entire time. Yeah.
It was so hot that summer up there, especially.
Yeah. And that was probably not even like in the 90s, which is just like terrible to think about. Yeah. But I do know that you guys just had your little mini heat wave up there.
It was kind of rough. But we stayed inside the whole time and our house stayed okay.
Okay, so that's good.
I mean, we went outside like early in the morning. So it's really hard to have a heat wave with a toddler because he doesn't understand. He's like, it's sunny. I want to go outside. And then also, I just don't think it affects him because we did at one point in the heat of the day take him outside. And I'm like, we're only out here for a minute, buddy. So get your plays out now.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, I don't want to go inside. And he's just like having the time of his life. And I'm just like drenched with sweat.
Oh. Has he gotten a sunburn yet? Does he know what that is?
No.
You guys,
no. We've been really careful too of like tons of sunscreen and you know all that stuff. And like he was only in the direct sun for a couple minutes before we're like, we're done.
Yeah,
we're going inside.
I was gonna say that's when he will truly learn, when he's like,
really
understand. My God, this is not.
He's a little white boy. Like his skin is pasty.
I know. Like that's why I was like, he clearly hasn't spent out enough time out there to know the hurt.
But anyway, we are here not to talk about the weather. We're here to recap our episode that was published earlier this week with Lindsey Pope. And that was honestly like, I mean, I love all of our guests and all of our guests are my favorite, but I just had such a fun time with that conversation. Yeah. One, because we both know her personally. Mm-hmm. So it was kind of nice to just like, it was just like talking to a friend, but also like we talked about some really cool things.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the first like fun things that you and her like really connected on too, because both of you are kind of on your weightlifting journey. Mm-hmm. And so Lindsey was kind of talking about that and relating it to failure as being like a skill that you can build, which I thought was really powerful. Using that in both and creating resilience in both your personal life and your business life. I love that. You and I talk about stuff like this all the time. We're like, how can we relate this and like create lessons from this and apply it to our own business? So yeah, since you're the other weightlifter in the conversation, do you have any thoughts to add to that?
Honestly, I feel like, because I've reflected on this a lot. I actually just went strength training this morning. And like one of the things that we do, which I particularly like with the trainer that I work with, is we have these little notebooks because she writes us the workout plan for the day. And, you know, it changes up every week and things like that. Although I feel like lately there's some months where she's just like, okay, we're doing the same workouts all 3 days, but like you're not doing the same workouts back to back. So like Monday of last week was the same, or Tuesday of last week was the same as Tuesday of this week, and then like Friday will be the same, and then the Saturday workout will be the same, but you're getting the different ones. Anyways, what we do is we write down like the weights that we used each time. So what's really nice is, yes, you can lift to like failure. And then I'm learning all these really cool things about like you should probably eat before you lift, because then your body's using the fuel in your belly instead of like relying on other stuff, as well. And then what was it? What was my point with this? Oh, that you can look at like your last, what you did, and try to like beat it. And I think it's kind of the same in business, right? But you also have to remember, like, actually, that is my point, taking like the food analogy. If you're not like reinvesting and like putting stuff back into your business, if it's just like all expenses out and like nothing coming in, then you can't just continue to like grow. It's that adage, like, gotta spend money to make money sort of thing. But like there are ways to do it smartly and intelligently, and not just be like, oh, because I've actually worked with people who are like, wow, I was doing so good last year, and I was like, you were spending like, like you saved nothing from last year, and now you don't have enough to get through the hard times, that are coming this year. So yeah, I think there's a lot of analogies, that are like analogous thinking that you can pull between like weightlifting or strength training and like building a business, because it all is about that, like that routine. The things that you do consistently are going to help you grow and build and scale. And it's like when you, like, I've been sick, which we'll talk about later, for like a few weeks. And so like what the first day I went back to work out, I was sore for like
Yeah.
almost 3 full days. I was like, oh my God, I forgot that this was like this. But well, we'll see what tomorrow feels like, because I don't feel hurt today, but it may come through
They
tomorrow,
come back
the
a
next
little bit.
day. Yeah, yeah,
There,
yeah,
because you got to build it back up again. Yeah.
absolutely.
Well, I love that, and you two have inspired me for sure. Like, I definitely want to get there at some point
Hmm.
soon.
Hmm.
Um, I love that, and I just love that analogy a lot. And kind of another thing she talked about a lot was that clarity comes from doing, not overthinking. And this is like a reminder that I just need in my own life too. Like, I think it's so easy for people to overthink, or want to make things perfect, right? Like, not publish the post, or not, publish the website, or
Hmm.
the blog or whatever it is, until it's absolutely perfect, or you've overthought it to the point where it doesn't sound like you anymore. So I think at the end of the day, getting it done is better than not doing it at all.
Hmm.
Even if it's not perfect, or it doesn't have everything, or maybe you introduce it in phases instead of what your original plan was. I think it's important that when it comes to business, getting something done is so much better than having it perfect, because you're going to learn lessons along the way and make changes as you go.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's important too, like the incremental change. I mean, again, speaking from somebody who has had two websites being built in her brain forever, it is hard. That perfection piece is hard. Or even having like you said, you can definitely do stuff in phases. Like not everything needs to go out at the same time, and you get real time data in that. I think that we kind of forget about. Or there's sometimes where I kick myself. Like I have videos and things like even in my personal life that I want to post, like that happened in like March and April. I will get around to posting them at some point, but you have all these like visions of like, oh, this is the whole curated process like that I want to
Yeah.
make. And yeah, I think it's something that people are always going to battle with, especially if you're a recovering perfectionist. And it's funny because I don't have that perfectionism with my clients stuff. In fact, even some of them that do get in that like really really perfectionist bent, I'm just like, hey, let's just put it up, and then we'll see.
Get it done.
We'll get
Yeah.
it done. Like how unless you have something. I don't think I've told this story on the podcast before, but a long time ago at the first agency that I worked at, they would make these like custom proposals for like different bids at work. And
Mhm.
so like so many people looked at this, and they missed a misspelling, and it said fuck in the proposal. And I cannot remember who found it after the fact. And it all, you always find it like the day after you ship it out. So like they would print these little bound copies and they would send it out, like mail it, out, which is just so funny to think about now that now we send everything by email. And so, and they hadn't, somebody else had put it together, because usually I was the one, because I was the assistant, I was the one who would be the last one to bind it and everything. And because it was happening like after, they were rushing to get it out after hours. I did, like, as I'm looking at it, I usually look over it and be like, is anything fucked up? Is anything out of order? Like, our CEO at the time would be like, hey, this is the order I want the case studies in, because, whatever. But it was like the intro letter or something that had the mistake on it. And so they were like, oh my God, it's out there. Like, what do we do? Do we tell them or do we let them read it? And they ended up getting the client. They thought it was really funny, that, that was the mistake. And it happens, and I think you have to have a culture around how you handle mistakes,
Yes.
and realize we are human and you can't get everything right. Like, I think when I was working at Fred Meyer Jewelers, they sold like a diamond ring for $99 instead of $999. Of course, they fixed, they honored the person who brought it in, and it was just like, we fucked up. We did say that, but then they quickly printed a retraction of like, clearly that was wrong. We did not mean to sell it for that amount of money, but what can you do? There's really only so much you can do. And
Exactly, because we're all human.
yeah, exactly. Exactly.
We're all human.
Yeah.
Well, that's a really good segue to the other thing we talked about, which is that community is everything in business. So, like we said, we're all human. We all make
Mm-hmm.
mistakes. We all
Mm-hmm.
relate to one another.
Mm-hmm.
And, like marketing only gets you so far. Your marketing and sales funnels only get you so far, right? And like we say that as marketing people,
Oh
because
yeah.
we also know that the bottom line is if your marketing is going to work, you have to have a good, solid relationship building
Mm-hmm.
foundation.
Mm-hmm.
And so Lindsey talked a lot about how she was networking and really getting to know the people in her community when she first started. You and I have talked a lot about similar things and getting to know
Mm-hmm.
the people in our communities. And even now to this day, even though we're a little more established, we still are doing that kind
Oh
of work
yeah.
because it never stops. And you
Mm-hmm.
still have to, if you're going to work with humans, you have to build relationships with humans.
Mm-hmm.
At
Mm-hmm.
the end of the day, that's all you can do.
Yeah. The AI robots are not the ones, not the ones
No.
making decisions. Yes, they are influencing more and more
Mhm.
decision making, but the be all end
They're
all
not the
is
ones
still human.
making, yeah,
Yeah.
still
Yeah.
human.
Yeah. Yeah.
And honestly, that's how you make decisions, and that's how you are able to have client retention is
Mm-hmm.
by making that sort of connection, that human connection.
Mm-hmm.
Without it, like, what are you even doing, right? Like,
Yeah. Yeah. It used to worry me sometimes when I have clients that we have regularly scheduled meetings. Like, I had a meeting, we still keep an hour on the calendar in case we have something. I talked to a client today for 15 minutes who I'm going to see next week in person. And he was just like, hey, is everything being printed and you're bringing everything? I was like, yep, it's all up for print. It's going to be on, I mean, it's going to be on time. They have said that they can get it to me on time, but because I'm driving it up there instead of flying it up there, that I can, be a little bit of a wiggle room on time. But yeah, so we had a 15-minute meeting instead of an hour, and it used to freak me out earlier on in my business when we didn't like take up that full hour. But the more I think about it, is like, remember when you would have those meetings in your workplace and you were like, why the fuck are we spending this hour? Like, if you don't actually have anything to cover and
right.
everything is good, then yeah, you can do that. Or, I mean, some of my clients, I I know that they have been really stressed out about things, and so I'll just check in on them, like, how are you doing? I have a client whose husband has cancer, and I'm like, how is he doing? How are you holding up? I know you're, like holding a lot, and she's always like, thank you for asking, and I was like, well, because because we're human, and
Yeah.
like,
And that brings us to our work and our relationship,
yeah,
what
yeah,
we do with our business.
yeah. Yeah, like, and she'll like every once in a while she'll like be like, I'm so sorry, I need to cancel our meeting. And I was like, you're canceling it because you have to take him to an appointment. Like, that's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
That's life, If you need
And that's why
like,
we have businesses,
yeah,
right?
yeah. I was like, if you need something, let me know and we'll reschedule. But if not, sure, we can just check in next time. So yeah. And I think people value being treated as humans.
Yeah.
It just it's
Because we're human.
normal. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we're human. That's what we want. Well, and speaking of being human, one of the biggest takeaways, like reminders that I got
Hmm.
from that call was that taking time off fuels better work.
Uh-huh.
And it's such a good reminder because stepping away from your business like is a must at times. It's so hard because we're, like we can check our email from our phones, we can look at
Mhm.
things 24/7, but that doesn't help us at all. And I've really been trying to be good about that. And it's some days are better than others, but
Mhm.
stepping away helps you to problem solve. It helps you to be creative, taking a rest, doing other things, reading,
Mhm.
binge watching a show, spending time with your family, having coffee with friends. Like all of that helps you become a better worker
Mhm.
and become a um better for your clients or better
Yeah.
for your customers, you know?
Mhm.
You can't be in work mode 24/7.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what kind of business you have.
Well, I think the quality of your work suffers too. Like, if you don't step away, or if you don't have inputs from something else. Like, for me and my husband lately, it's just been we've been going out dancing a lot and just like having fun and like being away from the house and being away from TV and like um I think what's been nice though is we haven't been doing too much like eating out or like spending too
Mhm.
much money and stuff like that. There's like this dance club that if you get in before, well, if you sign up early, put yourself on the guest list, and then arrive before midnight, which I know is really funny to say out loud, then you get in for free. And I'm like, I like these odds. I can definitely abide
Mhm.
by these odds. But yeah. And then I think too, doing stuff that's like outside of the norms. I haven't told you about this yet, but it was just so fun. There was a guy, a French performer. He's a juggler. He can juggle 8 balls at a time. We went to
Wow.
go see him like a couple Sundays ago, and it was just like the most interesting show. And you know how when you sit and you watch people like on a stage, he actually it's a relatively new, I think it's a new theater performing arts space here in Las Vegas in the arts district. So like after the show ended, he like stood and we could shake his hand. This man, I swear, legit was like 6'8". But when you're looking at them from like above, like in the seats, they do
Right.
not look that tall. And I was like, oh my God, you are so big.
That's so
Because I'm,
funny.
like that's a whole foot and 4 inches tall.
Yeah.
And I think I was wearing heels that day. So I was like,
Oh my
it was
gosh,
just,
that's so funny.
yeah, yeah. I was like, also, no wonder you're just like a big person, like a basketball player size. No wonder you can hold like 4 juggling balls per hand.
Right?
Yeah. And also very, very French. His accent was really funny.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, stepping outside of like your normal routine and doing something you wouldn't normally do can
It's really fun.
just help. It's good for the soul.
It is good for the soul. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, and lastly, the last point that I want to bring up from our conversation, which will just kind of round this out,
Yeah.
is that your health is your foundation to your success. And you got to put your health first. And I've known firsthand, there have been many things that have come up since I've started my business, where I've been really, really sick for almost a month, or I've had, just some like issues with mental health and energy levels. I've also been pregnant and had a kid and been in postpartum phase. And the thing is that if you don't take care of yourself, it will come back to bite you. You can't just power through.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, do you have anything to add to that?
I was going to say, I feel like you and I both have been sick this year in ways that were just like, just so,
Awful.
yeah, so terrible. And yeah, this most recent one, I've just been like, when you're just like, I'm not sick, I'm not sick, I'm not that sick. And it just like lingers and
Yeah.
lingers. Yeah. It's,
You
don't
can't.
be stubborn.
Yeah. You're not taking if you're not taking care of yourself,
Hmm.
there's no way you're going to be taking care of your clients or your
It's
customers.
true. That is very
So
true.
take care of yourself. Well, I'm going to now transition to us to our favorite section. So what's your wins for the week?
Well, that I am finally on the mend. So, speaking of being sick, I have been essentially sick since, was going to give away when we recorded this, Memorial Day, like right after Memorial Day. And I definitely had the like, oh, I'm feeling better. I'm going to go do something. And then, like, done. Yeah, the up and down. So, this past weekend, went in, got some antibiotics, finally feeling better. Going to run the course of said antibiotics and hope that whatever this is goes away. So
Oh my gosh. Well, I'm so glad you're on the mend, and I'm hoping that it stays that way for a
yes,
long time, that you've
yes.
gotten it out of your system for the year.
Hmm. Me too. Yeah. How about you? What's your win?
Yeah, so I had a client reach out who I worked with last year, reach out to me and ask to do like a quick one-off strategy project with her. And
Nice.
so I'm working on that with her right now. I'm really excited. And I just feel really good. Like it's really nice when previous clients or people that you've worked with want to come back and we keep working with you again.
I love
So it's really good to catch up with her, but then also to know that she still trusts me with her business and
that. Yay.
wants to do more together. So that was really exciting. I've
That
had
is
a really
awesome.
fun month of like a couple new clients and then, having her call me and wanting to do something different was really fun. So
Yay. I
that's
love
my
that.
win. What's your do better?
Letting people know that I'm away and sick. So I don't know why I have such qualms about like putting on an audit office and different things like that. So like yeah, I definitely had like dropped the ball on reaching out to some people. And then when I finally like got they finally got a hold of me. I was like, I'm so sorry, I've been sick. Of course, people understand once you let them know,
Yeah.
but yeah. So I know I'm very bad at doing that. Mostly because I'm trying to not be sick. So
Fair.
I'll do a little bit of work, but it's you can again if we go back to the if you don't take care of yourself, you don't have get to take care of everything that you want to do. I feel like you can never be as quote unquote productive as you want to be on those sick days, even if you try.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly. You got this.
yeah. What about you?
Well, I'm gonna say patience on seeing things through. I mean, I see things through, but I've this year especially, I've not been very patient about like certain projects or like getting, decisions on certain
Mm-hmm.
things. I've had proposals sit there for 6 months and then they contacted me. Like it's
Mm-hmm.
it's been a weird year. And there's like things that I've started that I'm really excited about that aren't quite here yet. And I think just having the patience to be like, this will come when it's ready. This will
Yeah,
happen when it's ready. This will, I don't have to wrap a bow on everything right away,
that's
I
fair.
guess.
That was really fair.
Yeah. So let's round this out with a piece of media content that you're really into right now.
I have rediscovered a podcast that I hadn't or listened to in a while called Why Won't You Date Me, with Nicole Byer, who is a comedian. I think the way that I ended up like wanting to listen to it was I saw a clip of an episode on Instagram and I was like, oh my God. She has been having some of my favorite drag queens on, including Trixie Mattel. Yeah, she is so, to talk about said drag queen, her like her audience like the people who listen to her the most are like lesbian women, even though she's like a man in drag, and her co-host is also a man in drag for like the podcast that they do together. And she thought it was just so funny that young women are asking permission to touch her, even though she's like a man in drag. She's like very weird as like a middle-aged man to be asked by women if I can be, like for permission to be touched. He's like wacky. And I was like, oh my God, that's so funny. So yeah, I've been selecting which episodes to listen to. Like my husband and I were listening to one in the car with Tan France from Queer Eye. So yeah, she's having a lot of great folks on. How about you? What's your fave media this
Well,
week?
yeah, my husband and I, it was his pick for shows because I like forced him to like binge watch Bridgerton with me and Heated Rivalry and like, stuff like that. So it was his turn to pick, and he picked Breaking Bad because he had seen it, but I hadn't. And I'm not gonna lie, the first few episodes, I was like, I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna be into this show. And now I'm definitely into it. We're almost to season 3 and
Yes.
like definitely gonna see it to the end now. But yeah, it's been fun to like it's kind of fun too because like it was really popular like a decade, like it came out like what, a
It's
decade
a
or so.
while ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
kind of fun like just to kind of like have some years of perspective on like it actually is like really well written, like it's really well written, really like a
Mm-hmm.
really good storytelling.
Yeah.
And it's kind of fun to kind of look at it from a different
Mm-hmm.
lens
Yeah.
besides just the culture from that time, you know.
It's going to get way more intense and way more fucked up, just so you know.
Good to know.
It's
Good
good.
to know.
Yeah, you're going to be like, oh my goodness. So,
I'm not necessarily surprised after what was that episode where it was like 4 episodes in where they were trying to get rid of the body in the bathtub
oh,
and they
yeah. And then the thing, yeah, the
I,
chemistry did
it was
not
like
line
at
up.
that point I was like, do I want to keep watching this?
I will never look at those barrel drums the same
I know.
ever again.
No.
Yeah.
And he was telling me like some just like interesting facts about the show, and
Yeah.
apparently they put, because I know nothing about meth, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so they apparently put like basically all the steps in there, but intentionally left 1 or 2 of them out
Mm-hmm.
so that,
People can't really do it. Yeah.
yeah, people
Yeah.
can't like replicate it. But I just thought that was really interesting. Like it all seems very like sciencey and legit, you know?
It really is. Yeah. And
Yeah.
because he's a chemistry teacher,
Right.
like he
It
can
kind of
like,
makes sense. Like it seems very realistic
yeah.
that a chemistry teacher would make the purest form of
Hmm. Yeah.
meth.
Because they literally know the formula.
Yeah.
Well, we've watched way too many like drug shows and like including like Vice. Like the scary thing about meth is you can even do it like shake it up in a there. I've seen ones where they're like in the middle of like the Ozarks and they're like shaking it up in like a soda bottle because you can get all the ingredients and like that would be the worst version of it, but it still gets you high. And I'm just like, oh, just the idea of like shaking something up in a Pepsi or Coca-Cola bottle, being like, later, I'm going to smoke this, just feels very, very, very bizarre. Bizarre life choices for,
Bizarre.
for me.
Having fun binging the show though.
Yeah, good. I can't wait to, you'll have to tell me what you think as you get further and further in.
Yeah, I will
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. So,
Well, listeners, thank you for tuning in and listening to our thoughts about Lindsey's episode. And obviously, if you haven't listened to her episode yet, please go back and do it because it was an amazing conversation. And I think you'll get a lot from it. But in the meantime, if you have any questions or anything you want to chat with us about, feel free to shoot us a DM. And bye for now.
bye for now. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Take the Leap podcast. Check out our show notes to connect with us and our guests. If you have questions about the episode or ideas for future topics, send us a direct message on Instagram or email us at aloha@taketheleap-today.com. If you're interested in being a guest, fill out the guest interest form on our website.
If you're a new entrepreneur who is looking for a roadmap to move your business idea forward, check out the Take the Leap course on our website, taketheleap-today.com. Members who join the course also have an opportunity to join us in bi-weekly co-working and group coaching calls to build momentum and work on your business.
And if you'd like a flavor of what we offer, sign up for our free webinar with the 9 essential steps you need to launch your business with clarity and confidence. See you next time.